it's a big journey. It's a big journey.
It is. It is. And it's sort of one of those journeys that, at least at this point, it's kind of just lifelong.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be one of the one distinguishing factors with this work, is that there's always, it seems to be another layer. I'm sure you can attest to that. Even when you have attained fairly solid regulation of your nervous system, it amazes me how much the human system can store and hold.
Yeah.
And we don't know what it's like to live in a humanity where the bulk of our, folks, the bulk of humanity is not stuck in survival stress.
Yes, exactly.
I think it's really interesting when you think about that. It's like, wow, like what if in another 50 years, it could be sooner, if we really, went crazy and really got this work into all the systems. That would be nice, please. But it so much in our current world is driven by this stored fear.
Yeah, exactly. That survival fear, right?
You got it.
And it's incredible how much, it affects our physiology, our adrenals, our digestion, the level of inflammation in our bodies, our energy levels. And our emotional state too, right? Our mental health. And I think it's something that you've been really good at is teaching people that trauma isn't just mental health stuff, anxiety, depression. It is, but it's also these other physiological issues. You talk about the ACE study and you talk about, your program is teaching people how to become their own medicine. And I wonder if you can say a little bit about, why you feel like that's important for people to have these skills and this knowledge themselves instead of just working with a therapist who might be holding that information.
That's a really good question. So I was working in private practice for quite a while. When I got into the fitness world and Feldenkrais, I was, one-on-one personal training sessions, Feldenkrais sessions, somatic experiencing sessions. And I really liked it. I liked working with people one-on-one. I still do. But what was happening was I was seeing all these people one-on-one, and a lot of the time was spent, like I have a piece of paper here, right? Like I would be drawing pictures of graphs and nervous system, and this is what happens here, and that's what happens there. And then I would start, I was starting to, right before I kind of created this online stuff, make audio sessions. Like I would tape, record, audio.
You just did it yourself.
Good old cassette tapes. It was actually on cassette tapes a long time ago.
That's amazing.
I actually just threw some of those out. It's funny. I kind of felt bad throwing them out, but I'm like, I'm never going to use these on cassette, right? Awesome. But I started recording lessons. I call them lessons, exercises, which now I call neurosensory exercises, just guiding people to be in their bodies, in their environment, feeling like parts of their body. Much different than meditation, more very specific intention and attention to parts of the body and how you connect feeling this system with the outside world at the same time.
Right. And that relationship, so that dual awareness.
And that's one of the parts that's missing, I have found, in a lot of the meditative mind-body practices, is it's all internal, which is fine. But we live in an environment where there's stuff around us, and we're not all living up on a pristine, monastery in the Himalayas, breathing fresh air with no stress around us. Like, we have to learn how to be in our bodies while eyes open with the world,